All right, everyone. So today we are going to be discussing how to determine theme from text. Okay, before we determine the theme, I want to take some time to review the difference between a topic and a theme. Remember, topics are the subject matter addressed in a story, and they're usually one word, and they'll tell you what the story is mostly about in one word or two. Okay? And a theme is actually a message or the lesson that you're learning from the story that you can apply to your own life. Some examples of topics are courage, justice, honesty, and love. Okay? And theme, on the other hand, is a message. So it's one full sentence, like it takes courage to do the right thing, or actions have consequences. Okay? Some of the misconceptions or some of the things I want to go over with you guys are one, that there is a difference between a topic and a theme. Okay, remember, topics are subjects addressed or discussed in a text, and a theme is the message or lesson that you can learn from the text. All right. The other thing I want to go over is the fact that themes do not include a character's names. And the reason for that is because a theme is a message or a lesson that we can all apply to our lives. So we would not include the character's name in our theme or in the lesson that we've learned. Now we're going to take some time to review the differences between a topic and a theme, okay? So here I have the word friendship. Remember that a topic is one or two words that addresses or that tells you what the text is about. Okay, so friendship is one word, therefore it is a topic, not a theme. Here I have, to have a friend, you need to be a friend. Notice that it's more than one word, and also it does not include a character's names. It's actually a lesson that I can apply to my own life. In order for me to have a friend, I need to be a friend. So this is a theme. Okay, here I have Mr. Peabody forgives Tommy. I notice that, yes, it does have more than one word, so I know it's not a topic, but it has the names of characters like Mr. Peabody and Tommy. For this reason, this would not be a theme. Okay, I want you guys to try the next two on your own. Let's look at this one down here. Trisha didn't give up. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about whether it's a theme or not. Okay, so we see that it does have more than one word, so we know it's not a topic. And also it has a character's name, Trisha. Because this is unique to Trisha, and we can't apply this to our own lives, we cannot apply Trisha didn't give up to our lives, we know that this is not a theme. Let's try one more. This says hard work pays off. I'm going to give you a few seconds to decide whether or not it's a theme. Okay, so not only does it have more than one or two words, it does not have a character's name, and it's also a message that you and I can both apply to our lives, which is hard work pays off. So this is a theme. Okay, so now let's get into our lesson for today. In order to determine the theme, there are a few questions that will help you really think about what the message or what the lesson is in the text. Okay, so we're going to do this one on Thank You, Mr. Falker. I'm going to do this one. And then you guys are going to do Mr. Peabody's apples, okay? And these are guiding questions that you consider, think about, answer that will help you figure out what the lesson is or what the author's message is to you. Okay, so for Thank You, Mr. Falker, number one says, what is this story mostly about? So here I'm being asked to write a short summary of what the book was about. So Thank You, Mr. Falker was about a little girl named Trisha who struggled to read, and her teacher, Mr. Falker, spent some time working with her to help her, and in the end, she was able to learn to read. So, my answer to what is this story mostly about, I'm only including the most important details in the story. A little girl named Trisha comes from a family who loves reading. She feels dumb because she struggles with reading. Mr. Falker, a teacher at her school, helps her learn to read. It's very short, and I included all of the most important details from the story. The second question that's going to help me figure out what the message or what the lesson is from the book is, what is the problem? So in the story, the problem is that Trisha struggled with reading. The second part to number 2 says, how is it solved? So how did Trisha solve her problem with reading? It was solved because her teacher, Mr. Falker, spent time helping her learn to read. So once again, the problem is that Trisha struggled with reading, and it was solved because her teacher, Mr. Falker, spent time helping her with her reading. Number 3, what lesson can you learn from the story? So thinking about this story and everything that happened, I know that there was a girl named Trisha. She had a problem or she faced a difficult task, and she didn't give up. She tried and she tried and she tried, and with the help of her teacher, she was able to overcome her problem. So the lesson that I learned from the story is that, I learned that I should never give up. That's what I learned from the story. Now I want you guys to take a few seconds to think about what you think the theme of this book is, okay? Or what the message is, or what did you learn from the story? Okay, so the theme of this book, and I have a few sentence stems that'll help you put or organize your thought as you're writing. The theme of this book is to never give up. The second stem says, I know this because. So how do I know that the theme of the book is to never give up? I know this because in the story, Trisha did not give up on reading, and she was able to accomplish her goal. The final stem says, I can apply it to my life. So how can I apply this lesson or this message that I've gotten from the book, Thank You, Mr. Falker? I can apply it to my life by not giving up when I am faced with a difficult task. Okay, so the theme of this book is to never give up. I know this because in the story, Trisha did not give up on reading, and she was able to accomplish her goal. I can apply it to my life by not giving up when I am faced with a difficult task. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to do the same thing, answer the same questions based on Mr. Peabody's apples, okay? And remember, these are guiding questions, and what they'll do is they will give you points to focus on that will help you really hone in or really get the message or the lesson that the author wants you to learn from the text. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm available to help.